Hi creative friends, this is Saraya and thank you so much for being here. So I've allowed this to dry and you guys, I am so in love with this lusciousness. Like just look at this. Oh my goodness. Like everything has dried and it just has this depth and magic and beauty that I think really, to me, illustrates how collage is a wide open portal, a doorway to other worlds. Like, I just could not imagine in my mind like putting this particular pattern over here and putting this over here, which was from a museum map. I think it's a piece of art and I just like ripped it in half. And whether it ends up being an abstract part of her hair or hair jewelry or earrings or whatever, like I just love this. And this part over here is just, I'm just so in love, you guys. So anyways, I am going to work on this, and basically this was about how I disrupted the the portrait. I wasn't happy with it in the sense that it was just looking like too much like all the other portraits that came before it. And that's one of the great reasons to do, like, say the 100-day project, for instance, or you can do, I'm going to create like 50 abstract, whatever. But when you do a lot of something and there's just so many, like multiples of something that you're doing, it forces you outside your box, because at some point you're just going to be like, oh, I've done this portrait like so many times before. Yeah, it looks a little bit different, but it looks too much the same. So it forces me to kind of like be more bold instead of staying in that box of what I know. So yeah, that's a great reason to do, multiples of anything. And you can do them in small, little pieces. Like you don't have to make a big portrait. You can do tiny little thumbnails. It's the repetition that matters, not the size. Like, look at this, you guys. I am so in love with this. Oh my goodness. And it's not that I really did a whole lot, because the collage is doing a lot of the work. And that's another reason to really get into collage is, a lot of times when I'm uninspired or I just don't have the energy, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, like, it's just like I come in here and I'm like, okay, I just don't have the energy to start from scratch. Well, I do have the energy to go through my collage stash and just look at something, just looking at it. And then I'm like, oh, I really love this. And then just play around with it like pieces of a puzzle. And then before you know it, I'm like, oh, okay, I do have the energy. I do have the juice to create something. And even if I don't, it is still sparked like seeds of inspiration. And I'm going to talk about gardening for a second, because I just think it's such a great analogy. And since I am, gardening, I don't have a green thumb, you guys, but I am trying to learn everything I can. And I am gardening like in a very like, more intentional way. And one of the things is that, gardening, it requires a lot of maintenance. Like it's not like when I see like beautiful gardens and I'm like, oh my God, I want to have that beautiful garden. But what you don't see when you're looking at that beautiful garden is all the hours and hours and hours of time and knowledge and this and that, that went into it, into creating that beautiful garden. So one of the things I'm gonna say that, is so applicable to creativity is that, excuse me, in gardening, sometimes I don't have the energy to go and do like a full on, oh, this, that, and the other. I just don't. But, if I have like 10 or 15 minutes, I can do something small. And that small thing will add up to another small thing and another small thing and another small thing. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, okay, well, all those small things added up and now it's a tangible thing. And it's the same thing with creativity. Like maybe I don't have the time and effort to, come in here and do a whole spread. But I have, maybe I can look through some collage, or maybe I can, do this or that. And when I was sick, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, maybe, I can't even remember now, I just didn't have the energy or the inclination to come into my studio. Like I completely stopped painting, and I didn't even make the effort. So sometimes, you know, we just have to kind of respect parts of our life that, you know, like, so I'm not saying like you should always create. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you just have to respect where you are. If you have the energy for something small, then yeah, sure. If you don't have the energy for something small, then respect that too, right? So I'm not saying force yourself. That's not what I'm saying. So I don't want to push that narrative, you guys. Anyways, so I am just, now I gotta bring out the eyes, the whites of the eyes here, but you guys, I am just loving this disruption that happened. And I feel now like it's more juicier, and it's not as, it's not like so many of my other mixed media portraits where it's got the same. Now I did set the tone when I started my mixed media portrait intention. I did set the tone for me not using a lot of wild colors and sticking with kind of a monochromatic palette, because I wanted to explore values, my knowledge and use of values. So I did set that intention, but you know, intentions can change. And I was just getting a bit like bored with it. Like, okay, I've done that now. I want to still harness all the knowledge I gained from doing all those portraits using a very kind of neutralized palette, but now I want to bring some color, and I still want to use all of that knowledge. Everything, it's not going anywhere. But now I'm like, yeah, I just, you know, I want some juice. I want some of my juicy colors here. And you guys, I just cannot tell you how I love this little headpiece situation here. Oof, I love it. 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 And I don't know about the background. I think I need to kind of do something to the background, you guys, because I think it's really going to make, you know, it's going to make things pop here if I make the background like one neutralized color. I think, I don't know, maybe a gray, I don't know, because see this part over here, it's got grays in there. Can you see, like, it's got some delicious, like, very, like, just luscious grays. So I might, you know, try to kind of get, like, a gray like that. It's going to be hard because, you know, I think this is the work of a master because it's in a museum. I don't know whose work it is, but yeah, those grays do not look easy to, you know, to replicate. So it's not like I'm saying, oh yeah, I'll just make those exact grays. Yeah, I'll probably can't get that exact gray there. I honestly don't know who that is. That looks like it's a Miro or something like that. I'm just guessing, but it was in a museum map. Not just any museum map, you guys. I think it's from the Louvre, if I'm not mistaken. This was the museum map. Maybe I can like go online and try to, oh no. It is the museum in Amsterdam. It's their national museum. I'm gonna get online and try to see if I can figure out who this artist is over here. Just out of curiosity. I'm probably not gonna be able to. I don't know if I'll be able to get his name, but and yeah, you guys, I think I'm gonna go with a gray, but I wanted to be kind of like that gray, so I don't know if I can. Like, I do have a gray from a cheap apple barrel, and this is a cool gray. I might add a little bit of my burnt sienna ink to warm it up and maybe see if that will kind of maybe make it a little bit warmer. And just kind of like, So I don't think I'm going to make another video of this, you guys. I think what I'll do is I'll work on it and then I'll like show it to you guys. If, you know, if somebody's interested, I'll be like, oh, you know, this is how it turned out. But I don't think there's enough to make another video per se. Okay, so I'm mixing my gray with some of my, oh yeah, okay, it warmed it up, did. But now, I don't know. Grays are really tricky, you guys. Honestly, you know, well, they're tricky for me, I should say. Okay, let me lighten it up a little bit here. Oof. Okay, this looks like a big mess, honestly. It does not look anything at all like this. So I think what I'll do is I'm gonna let this dry. Let me know, you guys, if you have any interest in me making another video on this, like part 3. If not, I will just work on it on my own, and then I'll like show you guys. But if there's any interest, I'll work on it and make a video while I'm working on it. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna let this dry and try to, you know, in the meantime, I'm gonna try to see if I can get a closer replication of this gray over here. But I'm really happy with the face, the portrait, just not the background. Anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.